I'm a giant. See, they say when you have open heart surgery that it could actually cause you not to grow. Apparently that wasn't a problem. All right, I'm going to try to keep this brief. I'll try to keep it concise because I know you're all hungry, and they tell me that I only have 5 minutes to speak, which, as many of you know, is nearly impossible for me. My fiance could attest to that, poor guy. All right, well, I was born with pulmonary stenosis and an atrial septal defect, which means I had a hole in my heart and a leaking valve, and no one knew the cause. So at birth, I was taken from my mother's arms and whisked away in an ambulance with my father to Yale New Haven Hospital, where we were at the time, where they determined that I had a pretty significant heart defect. They couldn't do open heart surgery at that time for me, so they said to my parents, here you go, bring her back in 16 months. In the meantime, don't let her cry. Don't let her cry. Could you imagine? I don't know what my parents did to keep me from crying, but it probably explains a lot in my life now. Yeah, that's for sure. Right, Tony? Anyway, at 16 months old, I went in, I had open heart surgery. And I was in recovery, and I crashed. And they literally right there in the ICU had to open me back up again and do the surgery again. And my mother, who's here for the first time at this event, could probably attest to this story and probably tell the story better than I would, but I won't make you do that, Mom. So obviously it was successful. And when I was 18 years old, Yale New Haven Hospital wiped their hands clean and said, you have your walking papers, you're fine, bye-bye. And so years to come, each year I would go and see cardiologists, and each year I was told that I was absolutely fine. Well, not exactly the case. And I have to tell you that, you know, things really must happen for a reason, because just recently in the last year I've had to ask myself whether or not I would be here had I not come to San Diego and had I not met Dr. Paul Grossfeld. Truly, that changed my life. It was Dr. Grossfeld who just last year discovered that not only is my valve still leaking, but I also have a more significant heart issue than we originally even knew about. And had that not been watched closely, as he's doing now, that could lead to sudden cardiac death at any time. So we are watching that now, but I do wonder, what if I hadn't come to San Diego? What if I hadn't met Dr. Grossfeld? And why did nobody catch this sooner? So we're here tonight for a bigger reason than just one person's story. We're here tonight because there are 1.5 million infants, children, and adults in the U.S. living with congenital heart disease, as I am, and many of them don't even know they have it. Most forms of congenital heart disease are due to genetic causes, but the cause for that is known in only 10% of the cases. Only 10%. Dr. Grossfeld has searched and has not found a cause yet for what happened to me, but maybe with this research, we can find a cause for my defect and for the millions of others who are suffering the same thing. Every 15 minutes, there is a baby born with heart disease. Every 15 minutes. That means by the time we finish dinner tonight, another 12 families will go through what my mother and my father went through. But this is so easily solvable. The annual cost for Dr. Grossfeld's research is $250,000. That's not that much money in the grand scheme of things. We can all accomplish this. We have to find the gene that is causing this in people. So with that, I'm going to introduce to you another person who is so committed to this cause, to the cardiac cause, and to helping patients like me and others all over the world as well. And here locally, too. Dr. John Moore is a distinguished graduate of the United States Military Academy, Harvard Medical School, and Harvard School of Public Health. Since July 2006, he has been Chief of Cardiology at Rady Children's Hospital, San Diego, and Professor of Pediatrics at the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine. Dr. Moore previously was professor of pediatrics at the David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA, where he served as director of cardiac catheterization laboratory. Dr. Moore's major clinical and research focus is in the area of interventional cardiology. Please welcome Dr. John Moore.
Thanks for that.